husband's birthday, and he's getting the most expensive present ever, a new roof, thanks to Helene. Over the weekend, we received great news that the deadline to apply for FEMA assistance was extended to Monday, April 7th. This means if you have not let FEMA know of any Helene-related losses, you should do so as soon as possible to get the assistance you are eligible for. This could provide help with rent, home repairs, help with replacing personal property such as furnishings or computers, moving and storage fees, and more, like roofs. Even if you have not had major damage that you've identified at this time, you should still apply. Apply online at disasterassistance.gov, call 1-800-621-3362, or visit a disaster recovery center at Weaverville Town Hall and Fairview Public Library, open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Also, heads up if you're visiting our tax department soon. The Buncombe County Tax Department is moving to a new location at 182 College Street on Tuesday, March 18th. Some important dates: the tax collection office will move first, closing at noon on Monday, March 17th, and reopening at 182 College Street on Tuesday, March 18th. Then the property assessment office, located at 155 Hilliard Avenue, will move to 182 College Street the week of March 20th. If you have questions about your property values, business listing, or appeals, call 828-250-4940. The new location at 182 College Street is between the parking garage at 164 College Street and the Buncombe County Administrative Building at 200 College Street. Free parking is available in the parking garage. Just bring your ticket in with you when you come in and we'll get that validated. This is all part of an effort to consolidate public-facing departments, improve resident experiences, and save taxpayers money. For full details, visit buncombecounty.org. For today's briefing, we are joined by Emma Smiley with Legal Aid of North Carolina, Lane Davis with the Small Business Administration, as well as Asheville City Manager Debra Campbell and her staff. Today, Avril's not with us, so we'll get started. We'd like to highlight a program that is really important for riverbanks after Helene. If you have damage or severe erosion from Hurricane Helene that's threatening your home, a road, a bridge, a culvert, or any other kind of infrastructure, you could be eligible for the USDA Emergency Watershed Protection Program. It's designed to help landowners repair damage that's putting their property's safety at risk. This can include debris-clogged waterways, unstable stream banks, severe erosion jeopardizing public infrastructure, and wind-borne debris removal. While the program does provide funding for repairs, keep in mind that the timeline for those repairs is about 1 to 3 years. So it's not instant, but it is important to get that support when you need it. To see if you're eligible, fill out the damage report form located at the top of the page at buncombecounty.org or call the One Buncombe call center at 828-250-6100. Reach out so that we can get your property on the path to recovery after the storm. We received an update from our economic services team that funds are still available for the Disaster Energy Assistance Program. If you were impacted by Helene and need help with home heating related costs, we encourage you to apply for disaster energy assistance. It can help cover costs like utility bills, propane or oil tanks, replacement or repair of furnaces, and more. What's great about this program is that it has more flexibility in providing assistance that would help heat a home. So residents have been able to or have been eligible for insulation replacement costs and even roof repairs. There are 2 ways to apply for this. The first is in person at 40 Cox Avenue, also known as our health department building, or by phone at 828-250-5500. Both of those are available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. While the FEMA applications deadline was extended, it is still a few weeks away, along with some other deadlines. March 14th, like we covered last week, is the Arts ABL Arts Business Relief Grant deadline. April 7th is the FEMA individual assistance deadline. April 15th is the last day to apply for private property debris removal. April 27th is the deadline for the Small Business Administration physical damage loan, and June 30th is the Small Business Administration economic injury application deadline. If you need support with food access, transportation, employment assistance, housing assistance, mental health, or other recovery needs, the North Carolina Emergency Services Disaster Case Management Program is here to help. You'll be matched with a dedicated case manager who will be your personal guide through the recovery process. One of our local disaster case managers is Rosario Villarreal, who has been helping vulnerable populations access resources long before Helene. She is now able to use her connections with nonprofits and other organizations to help survivors recover. Plus, she's bilingual, so she can assist our Hispanic community members who might not speak English as a first language. To apply for disaster case management, just call 844-746-2326 or complete the intake form at buncombeready.org. Crews are continuing to remove debris from our communities. Here are updates on 3 different areas we're working on. The first is right-of-way. Crews are making their last rounds throughout March to pick up debris on the public right-of-way. They are working their way east to west through the county, so some of those highly impacted areas like Barnardsville and Swannanoa will go last to ensure that homeowners have ample time to move that debris. If you miss the right-of-way trucks or you are unable to move debris, please apply now for the second program, the Private Property Debris Removal Program. Applications are open till April 15th. Crews have already completed free debris removal from 776 properties, with more than 500 closed out. To apply for private property debris removal, just go to buncombeready.org or call our call center at 828-250-6100 or visit the intake center at the Fairview Library. The third program we're working on with regard to debris is in our waterways, and crews are continuing to remove debris impacting critical infrastructure and waterways. We have about 40 waterway crews working right now through the Army Corps of Engineers, and more than 100 hauling trucks are out every day. For safety, we continue to ask folks to refrain from entering areas where crews are actively working, as these are active construction sites. Our community care stations remain open, but we do have some adjusted hours and services. Morgan Hill Baptist Church and Fairview Ingalls have laundry service only, and they're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Owen Pool Station is open with showers, laundry, water, and bathrooms, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on weekdays and 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekends. Thankfully, we have beautiful warm weather today, but when temperatures drop below freezing, the Owen Pool Station remains open overnight for warming. Due to low usage at Morgan Hill and Fairview, though, we do have some operational changes. Morgan Hill location will close on Monday of next week, and the Reynolds Ingalls location will close on Wednesday of next week. We were so glad to see these stations being used by the community during some of the hardest times. The Owen Pool Station will continue to be open as we see residents continuing to use its resources. As we look toward long-term recovery, resiliency is top of mind, which is why we encourage property owners to apply for the state's Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. If your property was impacted by Helene floodwaters or landslides, this is a great way to reduce the risk of it happening again. The program provides funding for home projects, including elevating the home, providing a new foundation above the 100-year flood elevation, and another option is acquisition at the value of the property the day before the storm hit. Close to 300 property owners have already applied for the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. There aren't any income limits for this program, and it's 100% voluntary. To apply, just go to buncombeready.org and fill out the 5-minute grant information request. If you have not already done so, we do encourage you to bookmark engage.buncombecounty.org/Buncombe Recovers, our new website focused on recovery. You can also subscribe to be alerted about input and feedback opportunities in the future. Our Buncombe County call center at 828-250-6100 remains open for any and all Helene questions Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Next, we will hear from Lane Davis with the Small Business Administration to give us an update on the work that they are doing currently in Buncombe County.
Hello, good morning. My name is Lane Davis with the Small Business Administration, and coming with some updates and soft reminders. As Lillian mentioned, the deadline has been extended to April 27th. With this deadline, there is an automatic 60-day grace period. The only difference is within the 60-day grace period, you can only apply online. So if you are looking to apply in person, it has to be before April 27th. To give some updates on our metrics, as of this morning, we received a list showing that we have dispersed $151.8 million to all the affected areas of North Carolina, approximately $61 million going to the county of Buncombe. And just to give an overview of what exactly we do and the type of entities we work with businesses, nonprofits, homeowners, and renters. For businesses and nonprofits, we offer physical damage as well as economic injury loans. Both of those types of loans are eligible up to $2 million. For businesses, the interest rates are as low as 4%, and nonprofit organizations are as low as 3.25%. And then we have the homeowners and renters. For homeowners, we offer physical damage on real estate property as well as personal property, which would be vehicles, furniture, etc. For physical damage on real estate, homeowners can be eligible up to $500,000 with an interest rate as low as 2.8%. And for renters and homeowners, for the personal property damages, we offer up to $100,000 with the same interest rate as low as 2.8%. If you are interested in applying or getting any more information on our terms and conditions, as well as disaster recovery centers, you can always go to sba.gov/disaster for any of that information. One of the great benefits of these loans is the first year there is no interest accrued nor payment needed. So you pretty much have that first year to decide whether or not you really need the loan once you're approved. If you don't need it at that point, you can just pay it back. And the terms are up to 30 years. So very great deal in my opinion. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. If there's any questions, always feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Lane. Next, we're happy to welcome Emma Smiley with Legal Aid of North Carolina. And Emma is joining us remotely. So if we can bring Emma in to give us an update on what Legal Aid is doing.
Yes, and I apologize. I'm having a slight technical difficulty. Can you hear me?
Sounds like Emma's having a little bit of a technical difficulty at the moment.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Great. All right. Hello, my name is Emma Smiley. I am a supervising attorney with Legal Aid of North Carolina. And I'm here to let you all know about an event that we are holding on Monday. And I'm actually going to share the flyer. Let me see. So this is for a free walk-in legal clinic that we are holding in conjunction with Pisgah Legal Services and Harvard Law School. We have some students who are coming down giving their spring break to do a service trip to assist people affected by Hurricane Helene. And that will be on Monday at AB Tech from 12 to 6 p.m. It's a walk-in clinic, so no appointments are required. people can come in with any legal issues that they're seeing related to Hurricane Helene. So common ones that we see, any issues with FEMA claims or appeals, issues with homeowners insurance, issues with so landlord-tenant issues, ownership issues related to property for people who are working with, say, a nonprofit or agency that needs to understand that they're the owner of the home, frauds and scams, particularly around contractors, and any other sort of legal questions that folks may have related to issues that arose out of Hurricane Helene. Now, we're doing this clinic on Monday, but I also want you all to know that we're open all the time, and we have a special hotline for people who are affected by Helene. There's no wait. Here on the bottom of the slide, you'll see our hotline number as well as the Fiscal Legal Services number. So anybody who has any of these legal issues related to Hurricane Helene or disaster unemployment, any other issues, as well as other types of legal issues, are welcome to give us a call on any business day, and we can get a file open and have attorneys to assist. And that is all from me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. And Emma's going to stick around in case there are additional questions at the end of the briefing from the media for her. And before I turn things over to Debra Campbell with City of Asheville, I do just want to mention, while we've been here, I've gotten 4 texts about my toll being due, and it seems like they want me to remind you that this is not a true thing, and it is a hoax, and they are trying to scam you. So along with those calls from people claiming to be from the sheriff's office, this is a scam. Do not fall for those scams. Next, I'll turn it over to City Manager Debra Campbell.
Good morning. As was stated, my name is Debra Campbell, and I serve as the City Manager of Asheville. As usual, I want to start by thanking everyone in the community for your continued support and your ongoing efforts to contribute to our community's recovery from Tropical Storm Helene. We are on day 168 of our emergency response and recovery efforts. Today, city staff will provide a few brief updates on our Asheville Recovers website, a new debris removal partnership, metrics on storm debris removal within the city limits, grant opportunities for our local artists, and lastly, an update on the WNC Nature Center reopening. We will start with an update from Debra Hitch, our Director of Communication and Public Engagement Department, on our new Asheville Recovers website. Debra.
Thank you, Deborah. Again, my name is Debra Hitch, and I serve as the Communication and Public Engagement Director for the City of Asheville. It's a pleasure to be up here today to share a brief overview of our new AshevilleRecovers.org website. So I'll start with just a few key takeaways about this new website. One, it was designed to be a one-stop shop. There, give me just a minute. There we go. All right. One-stop shop. So, and that is it being designed to ease the navigation through the many channels feeding into our area's ongoing recovery efforts. It's got a user-focused design. Many of the features that you see were inspired by feedback city staff received through the city's Helene Recovery Engagement Hub. And third, it was built to evolve and adapt. So the site will continue to grow and evolve as we invite the community to share events, suggestions, or resources. So back to the one-stop shop. This is just a quick screenshot of what the front page of the site looks like. And there's a number of different ways where information can be accessed. We wanted to take an intuitive approach and again, leaned into the feedback that we've been hearing from the community about areas where maybe there's confusion. And certainly we've heard that there's information coming from so many different areas that it can be hard to navigate. I'll talk a little bit more about how that is built, that challenge is built into the design of this website. So next, progress updates. Those are available through a number of different areas on the website. First, there's the map and data page. You can see there on the bottom right of the slide that there is a storm debris meter, so that within the city limits, Lillian just shared some great information about storm debris as across the county. And so these numbers that you're seeing here, I just want to be clear, represent storm debris that's happening within the city limits. And that's what that dashboard is tracking. There's other information available on that maps and data page, and just encourage folks to take a look at that. And if there's information that you'd like to see that you haven't, again, encourage you to use the website to share that, and we can continue to build and evolve the website based on what the community's needs are. You can also see that there's recent news. This is news that is related only to Helene recovery. So it's easy to access from that site. Again, it's ashevillerecovers.org. And then there's also information about our recovery focus areas. So if you're particularly interested in areas such as storm debris or economic recovery, there are pages that are dedicated to that, as well as our CDBG-DR action plan that's currently receiving input. There's easy access to all of those major focus areas. And then you can see more detailed information about how those programs are developing, and or information about how to access resources within those given areas. So we've also got an area for meeting events and deadlines. And again, AshevilleRecovers.org aims to be a central launching pad for the many meetings, events, and deadlines surrounding Helene recovery efforts. So the information you'll see there as you scroll down the page is information about City of Asheville events, as well as events being held by our partners. So if you are a partner or if you are a community organization and you've got an event that's coming up, again, we invite you to send that information through the website, and we'll get that posted up to that event's calendar. And just to be mindful and respectful of the changing nature of things these days, and sometimes quickly changing nature, our approach there is to send links to the original content, so that if a time change happens or a date needs to be changed, it will catch that and we don't have outdated or misinformation on our website. So again, the invitation's out there. If you've got a community event that you'd like to see posted through this website, there are a few ways that I'll touch on here in a minute for how to reach out to us through the website. There are also opportunities. The site's organized. This is another way to access information, again, leaning into that intuitive approach. So we know that grants and deadlines are something that are forefront in many people's minds, volunteer opportunities, engagement opportunities, and then again, small business assistance. And as I shared before, these were informed by input that we're receiving through our engagement hub, and then also through our Helene priorities survey that went out ahead of City Council's council retreat earlier, a few weeks ago. And again, all of that information was taken and is now reflected in the priorities that they've established for our Helene recovery. And this website is meant to reflect that as well. So again, that small business assistance is just a nod to what we've heard and what council has identified as priorities. Resources are another common thing that we hear that people would like easier access to. So you'll see here at the top of the website that there's a drop down, and you can see the focus areas that we started this effort under, that being economic resources, housing resources, mental health resources. That was something that we heard strongly in our Helene priorities survey. So again, there's easy access to resources organized by topic area. So back to that user-focused design. I mentioned earlier a few of the themes that we've been seeing, but just to state them again, there's been we've heard that there's a desire for easier access to information. There's confusion about deadlines. There's great importance placed on progress updates and the availability of programs, and that there has been communication overwhelm due to multiple communication sources. And again, this website is designed to ease that navigation, and we certainly want to promote anything that our community is doing and the invitations there. So I can say that since February 19th launch, that 2,484 people have visited the site. And in the first few weeks, our debris page was the page that was most visited. And then here in the last week, our CDBG-DR page has bumped up first place for most visited page. And we were happy to see that, because what that suggests to us is that people have heard about the action plan that's out there, the draft action plan that's out there that is currently receiving comment, and they're coming to the website to access that and engage in the opportunities that we have in these next few weeks for that open comment. Being built to evolve and adapt. So I've mentioned a few times in our time together this morning that there are a few ways that you can let us know what you'd like to see more of, or what might be missing from some of our communications. And those are outlined here on this slide with the white arrows. So up in the top right-hand corner, you can see that there is an email icon. That's one way. You can also ask a question. There's an arrow that points to that. And again, that will come to us, and then we're looking at that on a daily basis, and it's informing our ongoing communication and how we're continuing to evolve, adapt, and organize the website. And you can also sign up for updates. So those could be updates about the city's overall progress that we're making, or you have the option, if you're interested in one specific focus area, you've got the opportunity to sign up for that particular focus area. So for example, if you're interested in housing, anytime that there is a significant action around Helene recovery that has to do with housing, you can sign up for that newsletter. And then when those actions are taken, you can send that straight to your inbox. So just to recap, we're excited to launch this new AshevilleRecovers.org site. We will continue. If you had visited our former site, it is now being redesigned as our engagement hub, and it will tell the story about how engagement has impacted decision-making as we continue to move through the recovery process. It's a one-stop shop. It's got that user-focused design. And with that in mind, we've got the ability to adapt and evolve based on what the community's needs are. I'll now turn it back over to City Manager Debra Campbell, and again, invite you to visit AshevilleRecovers.org.
Thank you, Dara. And I hope that this new tool that we have will provide you with access to information, and that you will stay engaged and informed. So I'll start my comments with an update first on a new partnership we have underway with Western Carolina University's WCU's archaeology program. During their spring break this week, the WCU students are conducting an archaeological assessment of Riverside Cemetery. FEMA's environmental and historic preservation guidelines require that this assessment be done before stump removal can proceed. The assessment will help determine the safest way to remove root balls without disturbing sensitive historic areas. Once complete, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers will remove the remaining debris. The students' hand-on support and valuable research is critical to ensuring historic elements are preserved as debris is removed from the cemetery. Once the assessment is complete, FEMA will conduct a site inspection to evaluate any property damage and determine the scope of permanent repairs. There was limited damage to headstones or grave sites, and the intention is to restore Riverside Cemetery in a way that respects its historical and spiritual significance. Since October 14th, 2024, the cemetery has been opened by appointment to allow family members the opportunity to access the resting places of their loved ones. This partnership with WCU underscores the city's commitment to both storm recovery and the protection of Asheville's cultural heritage. I'll now move into the more typical storm debris reporting within the city limits. Over 500,000 cubic yards of storm debris and over 108 tons of mud and silt have been collected across Asheville. 157,241 cubic yards have been collected from the waterways within city limits, and 186 private properties within the city have been cleared of debris through the private property debris removal program. Contractors are conducting a final sweep to collect remaining storm debris from the right-of-way. This includes private streets where there is open public access and where regular city trash collection occurs. Crews will not collect debris in the right-of-way after when cars block the debris piles, the contractor cannot collect the debris and extends the time it takes for neighborhoods to return to normal. If at all possible, please refrain from parking cars along the street in front of debris piles. We also ask that residents avoid closed riverfront parks and greenways. This is for your safety and allows contractors to focus their efforts on the work at hand without the additional hazard of Asheville has made in our local economy. Asheville City Council has authorized the allocation of $200,000 in public art funds to Arts AVL to support the recovery of arts businesses impacted by Tropical Storm Helene. This action demonstrates the city's commitment to the arts sector, a vital component of Asheville's economy. $150,000 will be dedicated to arts business relief grants, providing direct financial assistance to affected arts businesses in Asheville. $50,000 will support Arts AVL Connection campaign aimed at revitalizing local arts districts through programming and activation. Participants in the city's recent Helene Recovery Priority Survey showed strong support for business recovery and arts funding. The arts sector is vital to Asheville's economy, generating $1.1 billion in sales and 9,000 jobs in 2023. As Buncombe County's official designated arts agency, Arts AVL is uniquely positioned to administer these funds, having extensive experience in grant management and arts advocacy. To learn more about recovery grant opportunities for artists, visit artsavl.org. Lastly, I'd like to remind you all that our WNC Nature Center is reopening to the public this Monday, March 17th. Operating hours are from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with the last admissions at 3:30 p.m. Beginning this year, the ticket office will be cashless. Tickets are available for purchase in advance online or in person using credit or debit cards and prepaid cash cards. Current directions to the Nature Center are available on the wildwnc.org website. And now, in closing, I'd like to extend my continued thanks to the mayor and city council, all of our dedicated City of Asheville employees, our other partners in the county, state, and federal government, as well as our private and nonprofit partners who continue to work tirelessly on recovery efforts. I will now turn it back over to Lillian.
When we heard the city manager was gonna give an update on the nature center, we were really hoping she was gonna come with an otter, but no luck today. We will now turn things over to questions from the media who are on a separate Zoom link. And Angelica's checking the chat to see if there are any there. We've got no questions in the chat. Nobody seems to be unmuting. I will share, these temperatures are beautiful, but we do see increased fire danger over the coming days. Relative humidity is expected to decrease to the 15 to 25% range across Western North Carolina by this afternoon and early evening. Winds are also going to increase with occasional gusts to around 15 to 20 miles an hour. This will combine with dry vegetation to increase the potential for the start and spread of wildfires in our area. So due to that high fire danger, please exercise extreme caution and remember burning is never permitted in municipal limits. We will have some rainfall come in this weekend, which will help our fire risk, but right now that abundance of caution is urged. And if you want to be updated, if we are to institute a burning ban, please sign up for our alerts by going to buncombecounty.org/code-red or text BC alert to 99411. And if you have any questions, suggestions of who we should have join us on future briefings, you can email those ideas to pio@buncombecounty.org. One last call for anyone who wants to ask a question. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with us, and we will look forward to seeing y'all again next week on Wednesday at 11.